Good afternoon to all the NEET aspirants and EAPCET aspirants. This is your Prasanna Ma'am from NEET World. So yes, in our previous session, which is the first session for EAPCET 2026 from this channel. So yes, in our previous session of Living World, we have completed the characteristic and defining features of living, binomial nomenclature, classification, taxonomy and systematics. So these are the concepts which are the first half session of the living world, and today we are going to deal with the major segment of this chapter, which includes taxonomic categories and the tabulated form that we have to remember for all the 7 obligate taxonomic categories. And after this we are going to learn taxonomic aids. Post that we are going to practice all the EAPCET PYQs which comes under taxonomic categories and taxonomic aids. So when we have to compare both the yesterday's class and today's class, good morning Abhi, good afternoon, yeah. So from taxonomic categories and taxonomic aids we can expect more questionnaire beta. So very important concept, every year you will get either a tabulated form or a statement based question on taxonomic categories, that important it is. So before getting into the taxonomic categories, you have to know what is the taxonomic hierarchy actually. It is the Linnaeus, it is also called as Linnaean taxonomic hierarchy or taxonomic hierarchy. This is proposed by Linnaeus, okay. Taxonomic hierarchy or Linnaean hierarchy is one and the same. This is proposed by whom? Linnaeus. In this, what is a taxon or category? Remember, taxonomic categories are 7, okay. We have 7 obligate taxonomic categories, 7 obligate taxonomic categories. Taxonomic categories or a category is also called as rank or taxon. So these can be used as synonyms beta. Category, rank, taxon, they are used as what? Synonyms. A taxon is a group of organisms and category represents what? The rank of the taxon. Any category will represent what? The rank of the taxon. Nothing but taxonomic hierarchy or Linnaean hierarchy includes 7 obligate taxonomic categories. Category is also known as rank or taxon. As such, we have 7 obligate taxonomic categories. These 7 obligate taxonomic categories can be learnt in the ascending or descending order. Ascending order goes from species to kingdom. So the first smallest taxonomic category is what ma? Species. After species it is genus, family, class, order, phylum or division, and then kingdom. Phylum or division and then kingdom. Just a second. Yeah. Fine. Amongst this, the smallest taxonomic category is what? Smallest taxonomic category is species. Make a note of it ma, these points are very important. And the largest taxonomic category is kingdom. Fine ma. So these are the 7 obligate taxonomic categories from species to kingdom. From species to kingdom is the ascending order, okay. This is the ascending order. Ascending order. From kingdom to species will be the descending order. Kingdom to species is descending order. Fine. So, this is from species to kingdom, it is the ascending order, and kingdom to species descending order. Let me brief you each taxonomic category. As we have discussed, species is the smallest taxonomic category, includes those organisms which show similarity both in structure, morphology and physiology, okay, which are morphologically similar, they are placed under the species. The group of organisms which are primarily morphologically similar, they are placed under the species. Group of related species are kept under one genus, and group of related genera are kept under family, group of related families kept under class, group of related classes are kept under order, group of related orders kept under family or division. Division is the term we will use for plants, and phylum we will use for animals. And as such, we have two kingdoms, kingdom Animalia and kingdom Plantae. So, here one major point that you have to remember is beta, as you move on from species to kingdom, the similar characteristics between the organisms will be decreased and the specificity will be decreased. In the ascending order, as you move from species to kingdom, what happens? Specificity decreases. Yeah. Specificity decreases and decrease in similar characteristics amongst organism. Decrease in similar characteristics among organisms. And as you move from kingdom to species, that is in descending order, specificity increases and similar characteristics which are shared among the organism also increases. Increase in similar characteristics amongst organisms. Okay. So, these are the major points that you have to remember from taxonomic categories. Okay. Taxonomic hierarchy is also said as Linnaean hierarchy. This is given by the scientist Linnaeus. So, here we have each taxon will represent group of organisms. Okay. Taxon is also called as rank or category. Okay. As such, we have 7 obligate categories. Ascending order, it is from species to kingdom, descending order is from kingdom to species. And as you move in the ascending order, specificity decreases and there is a decrease in similar characteristics. And as you move in the descending order, that is from kingdom to species, specificity will increase and there will be an increase in similar characteristics which are shared amongst the organisms. This is the basic information that you have to know before we are going to deal with each and every taxonomic category in detail. So, first let us move to the kingdom, that is the highest category, highest taxonomic category, that is kingdom. Kingdom is the highest taxonomic category in the classification that we know, right, wherein certain common fundamental characteristics are used for the basis of this classification. So, for example, kingdom Animalia will comprise of how many organisms? Organisms which are multicellular, heterotrophic, just few characteristics will be there because this is the highest taxonomic category. Only few characteristics are mentioned. What are they? All those organisms which are multicellular, heterotrophic and eukaryotic are placed under the kingdom Animalia by R.H. Whittaker in his 5 kingdom system of classification. Once let us recall what are the 5 kingdoms that are given by R.H. Whittaker. 5 kingdoms, first is kingdom Monera, second is Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Right. So, under Animalia, what all organisms that are included beta? Those organisms which are multicellular, heterotrophic and eukaryotic. Clear? So, now we will discuss in detail about the kingdom which is the highest taxonomic category. This information is enough for the kingdom. Next taxonomic category after kingdom is what? Phylum for animals and division for plants. A group of closely related classes are kept under the phylum. Okay. group of closely related classes. Organisms will share common basic body plan and major structural features. Okay. What are the similar characteristics here? They will share basic body plan and major structural features. For example, phylum Chordata includes animals which have notochord. These are vertebrates. Okay. Phylum Chordata includes the animals with the notochord, vertebrates. Division angiosperms include what? Flowering plants. Division angiosperms include flowering plants. And the next is class. A subdivision of phylum consisting of organisms with more specific similarities. As I told you, specific similarities will increase as you go in the descending order from kingdom to species. So, here subdivision of phylum consisting of organisms with more specific similarities. All members in a class will share common attributes like mode of nutrition, body structure and reproduction. These are the similar features that are shared amongst the organisms. Example, if you see class Mammalia under the phylum Chordata, this is characterized by what? Milk production, hair and warm bloodedness. This is the characteristics of this phylum which of this class Mammalia under the phylum Chordata. If you consider plants, class Dicotyledons under the division Angiospermae consists few characteristic features like 2 cotyledons, net venation and taproot system. Clear, right? So, this is about class and phylum. After class it is what? Order. Okay. So, order, if you see, a group of closely related families are kept under one order. Okay. Group of closely related families. This criteria includes what? Nature of reproductive organs, arrangement of flowers, mode of nutrition. Okay. These are the few similar characteristic features which are described here. Under order primates will include what? Humans, monkeys and apes. Rosales order, if you consider plant kingdom, Rosales order includes rose, mulberry and fig families. Okay. Examples under each taxonomic category or under each rank are very important both for animals and plants. Okay. And what are the similar characteristics that are being shared are also important beta. Make a note of it. You can also take a screenshot of this. Next is family, a group of closely related genera with numerous structural similarities are placed under the family. Families will often share what? Reproductive features, vegetative traits or DNA markers. Okay, they share reproductive features, vegetative traits or DNA markers. For example, family Hominidae includes what? Humans and great apes. Okay, and next family Fabaceae, which is also called as Leguminosae, includes what? Pulses like beans, gram and soya bean. Okay, this is under animal kingdom, this is under plant kingdom. Examples are very important and you should be clear on the note of what? The similar characteristics that are being shared and under each taxon. Okay, next is genera or genus, which includes group of closely related species. This shows clear common ancestry, morphological similarities. And this is the first part of binomial name that we have learnt yesterday, right? Binomial nomenclature. In that the first name is what? Generic name, right? Example include Homo for Homo sapiens, which includes Homo sapiens, Homo erectus. These are two different genera. And then Solanum. Solanum includes what? Solanum tuberosum, Solanum melongena and Solanum nigrum. These are different species which are kept under the genera Solanum. And next is what? Species. Species is the basic or lowest unit of classification, which is the fundamental unit of classification. This includes group of organisms which are capable of interbreeding and producing fertile offsprings. This definition comes under biological concept of species, which is given by Ernst Mayr. Okay? Biological concept of species. Take a note of it, ma. Biological concept of species by Ernst Mayr. okay, biological concept of species by Ernst Mayr, where according to this biological concept of species, it says that species includes those group of organisms which are capable of interbreeding and producing fertile offsprings. Next, denoted by the second part of binomial name or binomial nomenclature. The members will share common genetic makeup, behavior and niche, that is the habitat of living, right. So, next, what are the examples under the species? We can give n number of examples, but you take down this: Homo sapiens, Mangifera indica, that is mango, and Panthera leo, lion. Okay. So, this is the description of 7 taxons or ranks. What is the benefit of this taxonomy? That arranging all the organisms or grouping the organisms in 7 obligate categories or ranks. What is the benefit of this taxonomy? Categorization of organisms for ease of study, that is the first thing, and this compares similarities and differences amongst the organisms. This will show evolutionary relationships for each rank, and same name is used for an organism worldwide, and knowledge of bioresources and their diversity is well noted by taxonomic categorization. Next. So, this table or chart is very important, ma. You can keep how much ever star marks you want, and directly from this table you will get the question. Okay. This framework should be in your mind. Okay. So, here just name out the 7 taxonomic categories from species to kingdom. Okay. First is what? Species, then genus, and then family, order, class, phylum or division, and last is kingdom. Fine. So, first here if you see species and genera, which comes in the binomial nomenclature, first name and second name. First we will see this and then we will move to the kingdom. Allium cepa and Allium sativum, okay, under the genera Allium, it includes Allium cepa and Allium sativum. Triticum aestivum, that is wheat, okay, and then Mangifera, Petunia, Datura solanum comes under Solanaceae family. Genera Solanum includes many species, but 3 are described over here: Solanum melongena, Solanum tuberosum and Solanum nigrum. Okay. Now we will move to the family. Family includes what, ma? Group of related genera. This shares common vegetative and floral characters. Group of related genera which share similar vegetative and floral characters are kept under family. Okay. Group of related genera which share common vegetative and floral characters are kept under family. Okay. So, here Allium cepa, Allium sativum, this is kept under what? Liliaceae family. Triticum aestivum is under Poaceae. Mangifera indica under Anacardiaceae. Petunia, Datura and Solanum are included under the family Solanaceae. Okay. Petunia, Datura and Solanum are kept under what? Solanaceae. Now, group of related families are kept under the similar order. So, those families which share common floral characters are kept under single order. Okay. For example, Liliaceae is kept under Liliales, Poaceae under Poales, Anacardiaceae under Sapindales, Solanaceae and Convolvulaceae under Polymoniales. Okay. Solanaceae and Convolvulaceae under Polymoniales. Okay. So, this is up to order. Now, group of related orders are kept under same class, right, ma? So, here Liliaceae, Poales are kept under monocotyledonous class. Liliaceae and Poales are kept under monocotyledonous class. Sapindales and Polymoniales are kept under dicotyledons. Fine, right? Next, monocots and dicots are 2 classes kept under the division Angiosperms, and Angiosperms kept under the kingdom Plantae. Plantae has how many divisions, beta? 5 divisions that we have learnt in the kingdom Plantae. What are those 5 divisions? Algae, bryophytes, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. Key takeaway, okay. So this slide clearly describes you the complete taxonomic ranking under the kingdom Plantae. Kingdom Plantae has how many divisions beta? 5 divisions: algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Under the division angiosperm, you have 2 classes, monocotyledons and dicotyledons. Monocotyledonous class includes liliales and poales order, and dicotyledonous class includes sapindales and polymoniales order. And under liliales order, you have the family Liliaceae, poales order you have Poaceae, sapindales Anacardiaceae, polymoniales include Solanaceae and Convolvulaceae. Liliaceae family includes the genera Alum cepa and Alum sativum. Poaceae family includes Triticum aestivum, Anacardiaceae mangifera indica. Solanaceae family includes 3 genera Petunia, Datura and Solanum. And Convolvulaceae is one family under the order polymonials, right. Now if we see genera and species, Alum cepa, Alum sativum, Triticum aestivum, and lastly Solanum includes 3 genera Melongena, Tuberosum and Nigrum. Clear, right? So all this should be in your mind. You can take a screenshot of this. Just see this daily for 2 to 3 minutes. This will be fixed in your mind. Definitely there will be a question on this. In every year of EAPCET paper, there is a match to the following type of question, which is directly asked from taxonomy categories. That important it is, okay. Next. So the same flow chart for the kingdom Animalia, okay. Look at here carefully beta. Again the same thing, species, genera, family, order, class, and as this is the kingdom Animalia, here you have to write phylum and then kingdom. So the kingdom Animalia includes 9 phyla, of which 2 are given in this flow chart. One is chordates and the other is arthropoda. And chordates under the class Mammalia, arthropoda under Insecta. Class Mammalia includes order Carnivora and Primata. Arthropoda under has the class what? Insecta, which includes Diptera, fine. Carnivora has 2 families, Canidae and Felidae. Canidae includes Canis genera, Felidae includes Panthera, right. Order Primata includes family Hominidae, Diptera, Muscidae. Next, if you see the phylum, if you see the family Canidae, which includes Canis, has 3 genus. Canis has 3 genus, Familiaris, Lupus and Aureus. Panthera genera has 3 genera, Leo, Tigris and Pardus. Next, Homo sapiens, Musca domestica. This flow chart should be in your mind, just fix it, okay. That important it is, okay, just fix it, it is that important, right. So just for 2 minutes go through this flow chart. If you are having any doubt, just drop a message. Yes, let us get back. So this is the table which is provided to you. Just have a look into this. We have discussed all this in our previous 2 slides, but this is the direct table of your text, okay. Now taxonomic aids. Taxonomic aids are very important. In every alternate year you have a question on taxonomic aids. First you have to know what are the taxonomic aids. Look into the definition ma. Taxonomic aids are nothing but they will support identification, classification, naming and preservation, okay. They support identification, classification, naming and preservation of organisms. They are backbone for both taxonomy and systematics, okay. They are backbone for taxonomy and systematics. They help researchers in maintaining accurate biological records for the present and future. Okay. Taxonomic aids are very important to preserve the biodiversity, and it is majorly important for identification of species. What are the different taxonomic aids that we use? First is herbarium, next botanical gardens, museum, zoological parks, flora, manuals, monographs and catalogs. These are different taxonomic aids. Herbarium. Herbarium, first we will look into herbarium. In this, what is exactly important for your exam, I will tell you. Have a clear note on that beta. You have to know what is a herbarium. Herbarium is nothing but this is a repository which maintains plant specimens. How plant specimens are stored in herbarium? They are dried, pressed, mounted on sheets and preserved for the scientific study. Okay, they are dried, pressed, mounted on the sheets and they are preserved for the further studies. What are mentioned on the sheet where plant specimen is placed? Okay, what are the labels on the sheet is very important. Okay, what are the labels on the sheet? Date of collection should be maintained, exact place of collection should be mentioned, common name or English name of that particular plant specimen, local name or vernacular name of the plant specimen and the botanical name. All the names should be included. Next, family of the particular plant specimen, collector's name. These are the labels that should be mentioned on the plant specimen of herbarium, on the herbarium sheet. Time of the collection is not required. If any other option which is given apart from this labels should be eliminated in your exam. Remember that. Okay. So, these are the technical labels that should be labeled on the herbarium sheet where the plant specimen is placed. Now, note on habitat, habit and field observations can also be mentioned. Herbaria will act as quick reference centers. They are the reference centers for plant identification and they serve as index for flora of a particular region. Any particular region, plant specimens of that particular region are collected, dried, pressed, mounted on the sheet and these labels are given on the sheet. As such, it is preserved. On the sheet, a plant with all its vegetative and floral characters and the labels are provided as such. Okay. So, you have to know what is a herbarium sheet, you have to know what are the labels that we have to mention on the herbarium sheet. So, that apart from these labels any other label is given in your option can be eliminated. Okay. That should be focused from this slide ma. And this is very important. What are the famous herbaria that we have to remember? First is Royal Botanical Garden which is in Kew, England, and then Central National Herbarium which is in Calcutta, and Missouri Botanical Garden Herbarium in USA, New York Botanical Garden Herbarium. Okay. So, these are the famous herbarium, we have to keep it in our mind. Second is botanical gardens. Botanical gardens are the large protected outdoor areas where wide variety of native and exotic plants are grown for scientific, educational and conservative purposes. Okay. So, the live plants are kept preserved, they are kept preserved and they are protected properly. Okay. Especially exotic plants. Each plant here again, the live plant in the botanical garden is properly labeled with the scientific name, family, origin, and this enables students to see the classification come alive. Okay. So, this is about botanical gardens. You need not to look into much for the definitions. You have to remember what are the famous botanical gardens, prominent botanical gardens and what is its importance. What botanical garden will maintain actually? They will maintain exotic gardens, they strive as ex situ conservation, ex situ plant conservation, and they protect rare, endangered, economically important plants. Okay. Rare, endangered and economically important plants. Prominent botanical gardens include Royal Botanical Garden Kew, England, National Botanical Research Institute NBRI which is located in Lucknow, Indian Botanical Garden which is in Howrah, and Lloyd Botanical Garden which is in Darjeeling. Okay, these are the prominent botanical gardens. And then museum. Biological museums collect, preserve and exhibit variety of plants, animals, skeletons, fossils, shells, corals and other specimens used for scientific study. What all are preserved in museum should be highlighted and should be noted. And what are the methods of preservation that we follow in this taxonomic aid, that is museum? The methods include wet preservation, that is in formalin jars, dry preservation for insects, birds, mammals which are stuffed, skeleton preparations for large animals, especially human beings, next mounted specimens for display. These are the methods, few methods of preservation, and museums will ensure specimens are protected against what? Decay, damage and environmental changes by making them valuable for research, evolution and biodiversity. Here under this taxonomic aid, what you have to remember, what all we are keeping in the museum, what all we are preserving and what are the methods of preservation. An important museum is National Museum of Natural History, NMNH, which is in New Delhi. Okay. So, this you have to remember. And then is zoological parks. Zoological parks, same like botanical gardens, will preserve the rare and endangered species, and this is one more aid which serves as ex situ conservation. So, here if you see, zoological parks or zoos house live wild animals in enclosures that mimic their natural environments. These parks will support education, recreation and conservation. What is the significance of zoological parks? They serve as centers for ex situ conservation. They will enable study of animal behavior, food habits and adaptations. They provide safe homes for endangered species, and major or prominent zoological park you can note like National Zoological Park, Delhi is one of the Asia's most renowned zoos. Here what you have to remember, it serves as ex situ conservation, what all animals are kept here in the zoological parks and what is the prominent zoological park. Enough. Okay. And then now we will learn about flora, manuals, monographs and catalogs. You have to know the meaning of each term because they are asked in the statement based questions. Okay. We will exercise now. Okay. Statement based questions are asked. So, here you see these are scientific books that describe, document the plants and animals of different regions. First, how can you describe flora? What is flora actually? Flora is nothing but a book which describes plant species which is located in a specific area, all the plant species located in a specific area along with their habitat, distribution and key characters for identification. All these are described in a book, and that book we will call it as what? Flora. Okay. Flora includes what? A book which includes all the plants in a particular region and what are the descriptions of those plants, habitat, distribution and key characters are mentioned. For example, Flora of Delhi by J.K. Maheshwari. Okay. And this is one example of flora. I hope flora is clear to you. Now, what is a manual? Manual will provide you complete lists and description of species found in a particular region. Complete list like what all plants are present in a particular region. Complete list and description of that plants is provided in manuals. Okay. Manuals are widely used as quick references for field identification. Whenever you are going to any field to identify plants, in that time manuals will be easily useful. Next is what? Monographs. Monographs, this is an intense detailed study of a single taxon. Okay. Any single taxon, it can be species, genera, class, order, family or phylum or kingdom. Any single taxon is completely described, then it is called as what? Monograph. Excuse. Next is catalog. Catalog is an alphabetically arranged list of species which is found in an area with brief diagnostic feature. These resources support what? Taxonomists in accurately naming and classifying organism. Okay. Catalogs will accurately help in what? Help or support in accurately naming and classifying organisms. I hope flora, manual, monograph and catalog is clear to you. Okay. In catalog, all the species are arranged in what? Alphabetical order. Okay. I hope these four are clear to you, right ma? Now, it is the questionnaire time. It is the time to check your learning. Just take a pause and then we will start. Now, here you see question asked in EAPCET 2023. Which taxonomic hierarchy contains organisms belonging to same class but not the same family? Okay, taxonomic hierarchy which belongs to the same class but not to the same family. Here once you have to recall all the 7 obligate categories. In the ascending order we will move. Okay, species, genera, family, order, class, phylum or division and kingdom, right ma? So, in the question what he is asking, which taxonomic hierarchy contains organisms belonging to the same class but not same family, fine. Then in that case what will be our right answer? Order. Okay. Order includes different families, related genera and same class. Okay. One order is kept under the single class. So, here the right answer is option 2. I hope this is clear, right ma? Yeah. Next question. Look into that carefully. Identify and arrange the following taxonomic categories in ascending order, which is asked in 2020. Excuse. So, amongst this, in the ascending order we have to arrange, that is from species to kingdom. Those 2 flowcharts which I gave you, you will see most PYQs from those 2 flowcharts only of kingdom Planta and Animalia. That important are those 2 flowcharts ma. In the complete class, if you listen to those 2 flowcharts and if you have screenshots of those 2 flowcharts also, the purpose is served for this chapter. Okay. So, here you see first is what? Species. Sapiens, Homo sapiens comes under species. So, we can take D as first thing, and second is Triticum, Triticum aestivum. Triticum is what? Genera or genus. Next is family. Hominidae is family, right, which includes Homo sapiens. This is family. Excuse. After this, order, primata order includes apes, monkeys, human beings. Okay, this is order. And the next class, insecta is class, and the next is division, spermatophyta, that is C. Okay, so if you have to place a proper order in the ascending order, first is species, that is sapiens, and the next is genera, that is Triticum, and the next is family, that is Hominidae, which is A, and next is order, which is primata, that is E, next class, that is F, and next is division, that is C, spermatophyta, okay, or angiosperms. So, here B, D, A, E, F, C. What is the right option ma here? Option D, right. Next, look at this question. Identify the correct definitions for the following phrases respectively. So, again the definitions of each term is important, as I told you. So, here if you see this question is asked in the year 2020. First you see ma, contains information of a single taxon. Single taxon is what? Monograph. Okay, this is monograph. Excuse. So, here let us mention it A, B, C, D and E. So, first you can go with D, monograph. Each statement in a key. In a key, each statement is what? Led. Okay, which is B. Okay. Taxonomic key will have 2 statements. Taxonomic key has what ma? Two statements, two contrasting statements, two opposite statements of the same point. So here each statement is called as lead and two contrasting statements is called as couplet. Two contrasting statements is called as couplet and each statement is called as what? Lead. Collection of living plants for reference. Living plants for reference is what? Botanical garden, that is E. Represents unit of classification. Unit of classification is what ma? Taxon, which is A. Contrasting characters in pair is what? Couplet, that is C. So it is D, B, E, A and C, which is option C, right? Next question. Here options are not provided, but then we have to give the right matching. Study the following lists and find the correct match. So here you see genera Triticum. Triticum comes under which family ma? Poaceae, right? Triticum comes under Poaceae. Lycopersicon esculentum, that is tomato, which comes under Solanaceae. Mangifera indica under Anacardiaceae, Glycine max under Fabaceae. So A is 3, B 5, C 1, D 2. Okay. So this is the correct matching. And then here you see assertion reason type of questions asked from taxonomic aids and taxonomic categories only. If you see all the EAPCET PYQs ma, 80% of the questionnaire is asked from these two domains of this chapter, that is taxonomic categories and taxonomic aids. Remember how important it is, okay. First assertion reason you see here, it is about herbarium. In assertion it is mentioned like herbarium are plant repositories used as reference specimens recently digitized for global use. Yes, assertion is true. Reason, herbarium helps in classification of plants and provides complete description about taxonomy. Herbarium will not help in classification of plants and it will provide the description of taxonomy, but it will not help in classification of plants. So your A is true and R is false, which is option C. And this you see ma, classification groups organisms into categories called taxa. Assertion is true. And in reason, taxa is unbiased and this shows different levels of classification. True. Both A and R are true, but R is not correct explanation for assertion, right? These are few assertion reason types of questions. Next here you see the genus Solanum includes the following specimens. Okay, Solanum genera includes what? 3 species, right? We have learnt Solanum melongena, Solanum nigrum, Solanum tuberosum. So here Solanum nigrum indica will not be there, Solanum aestivum will not be there. This is Mangifera indica and Triticum aestivum and Solanum nigrum. So here 1 and 4. 2 are correct. Option B is the right answer. 1 and 4. Next, last set which is asked in May 2018. Assertion reason type of question, little lengthy in paragraph wise. So here you see assertion. Species is the lowest taxonomic category. True, species is the lowest taxonomic category in hierarchical arrangement and this shows distinguishing characters from one species to other closely related species based on what? Several phenotypic characters. However, as we go higher from species to kingdom, the number of common characteristics will be decreased. Yes, assertion is true. And here you see in the reason, once again we will see the assertion ma. Species is the lowest taxonomic category in the hierarchical arrangement. This is correct. This shows distinguishing characters from one species to other closely related species based on several phenotypic characters. True, because all those organisms which are morphologically similar are placed under one species. We can distinguish easily from one set of species to the other based on the phenotypic characters or morphological differences. Next, however, as we go from species to kingdom, the number of common characters will be decreased. True. As we go from species to kingdom, number of common characters, number of similar characters and the specificity decreases. And as you move from in the descending order, that is from kingdom to species, number of common characters or similar characters and specificity will increase. So, your assertion is true, and then in reason, all plants comes under the highest category called as what? Highest category called kingdom Plantae, which has two major classes, that is dicotyledonnae and monocotyledonnae. Both A and R are true, but nowhere reason is related to assertion. In this case, what we will opt beta? Both A and R are true and R is not the correct explanation of A, which is option D. Okay. So, that is all for today, and here we have completed one chapter, that is first chapter, Living World. How many questionnaire can we expect in the EAPCET paper? 2 questions for sure and in maximum 3. Okay. In the EAPCET we can expect 2 questionnaire for sure from this chapter, and majorly targeted domains of this chapter includes binomial nomenclature, taxonomic categories and taxonomic aids. So, summing up this, I will end today's session, and in our next class we will start the chapter biological classification. Gentle reminder from my end, these sessions will be highly useful to all those aspirants who are aspiring for EAPCET 2026, wherein the complete concept with EAPCET PYQs will be dealt in this complete playlist in detail. Okay? So, as this is useful for each and every student, those students who are watching this can share with your friends and watch it in huge, which is highly helpful for you all, as this is the public platform. Yes, summing up this, I thank you all for listening this. Thank you.